the sale of Highfield Road is something that, again, a few people in Coventry generally and fans have asked about. Who negotiated the sale?
What happened was we didn't know how long it would take to get the RICO up and running, but we wanted to try and be secure that we'd got the best price for Highfield Road so that we could bank that money ahead of any move, and it would cover the incremental costs of pre-building any stadium and so on, because there were costs to take. So the stadium, Highfield Road, was there. Our president at the time was a man called Eric Grove. Eric Grove was a hugely successful, and still is, property man, a great Coventry City fan, and Eric, we asked Eric, with his knowledge of everybody in the house building business, because that was his prime area, if he would consult with the major developers as to how we could get the best price. The other thing that we did was that the old pub, which I think was called the Sky Blue Tavern, there was quite a lot of land at the back of there which we used to use for car parking, and there were a lot of lock-up garages and an allotment and whatever there. And obviously, to make our site a better site, if we could acquire all that land behind there, it would have increased the overall value of our whole site, and also access to housing and so on would have been better. And so we did buy it, but we didn't buy it initially in the club's name, because then the various owners would have realised probably what we were doing. And one of our directors, John Reason, John was widely respected in Coventry, and a Coventry man. He bought on the club's behalf, and then the club bought the land off John and put it together with the rest of the whole stadium. We then had discussions, and Eric had discussions with the likes of Barrett's and who are the other?
McLean Homes.
McLean and Wilson and all sorts. Quite a few of them anyway. And eventually, there was a person called Mike Tanner. I'm not sure whether it was Barrett's or Wimpy, maybe. Wimpy Homes, I think it was in the end. And the deal was struck, and the key for us was we must always have the open right to come back to Highfield Road and play at Highfield Road, and they could not develop the land until the RICO was up and running. So, but what the key thing was, they paid, I think it was £5 million for that piece of land. And we had the right to always go back to Highfield Road. And we kept the money, and if we wanted to go back to Highfield Road, all we did was to pay them the money back.
So the club always had the option.
Always had the option.
And own it again.
And own it freehold again. And that never changed to the moment. So where all sorts of things about, oh, we'd sold Highfield Road too soon and so on. We hadn't. We'd sold it, we'd got the money, but we had the option to go back at any time we wanted. And if the deal to do the RICO fell through, and we had no other option of where to go to play it, we would just go straight back to Highfield Road. And that was, I don't know where the story came out that we had, sold our inheritance or whatever you want to call it. Well, it was there. We gave them the option, as long as we had the option to go back.
A Coventry rumour was that you pocketed the money from Highfield Road.
Of course I didn't. It went to the club. you can't do things like that. You know, McLean Homes or Wimpy's or whoever, I can't even remember who it was at the end of the day. It's impossible. They're a public company. We had audited accounts. Grant Thornton were our auditors. I had Sir Derek Hibbs on the board, Robinson, the MP for the area, on the board, John Reason, a local man, Michael Jepson was on the board as a lawyer in London and so on. It is impossible. You know, I don't know where people get this from. It makes a good story, I suppose, but it is absolute bunkum.
So the money from Highfield Road went back into the club.
Went back into the club, and then it was
the new stadium.
And only when the development went ahead and Rico was built and we moved, only then is the deal closed with the builders, and then, you know, that's when it's all done. So at any time they could have had gone back to Highfield Road. Any time we could have paid them back, and that would have been it. And I wish I had something, but I didn't. So you can't do that. These are big public companies they're top auditors and so on. You can't. Anyway, I just don't do that.